እንደነ ኃይሌ ገብረስላሴ ያሉ ኢትዮጵያውያን ታላላቅ አትሌቶችን በአጋርነት የያዘው አዲዳስ በዚህ ውድድር ላይ የጀግናውን አትሌት ትንተናና ሐሳቦችን ለመቀበል በክብር እንግድነት ጋብዞ እንደዚሁ ሐሳቡን ሲቀበል ቆይቷል። ኢትዮጵያውያን አትሌቶች በትራክና በጎዳና ላይ ውድድሮች በርከት ያሉ አስደናቂ ውጤቶችን እያስመዘገቡ ባለበት በዚህ ጊዜ በርካታ ተሳታፊዎች በተለያዩ የውድድር አይነቶች ድሎችን ተጎናጽፈው ሲያጠናቅቁ እንደማየት የሚያስደስት ነገር የለም። ከጀርመን ኑረምበርግ በስተሰሜን በኩል የምትገኘውና የአዲዳስ ዋና መስሪያ ቤት የሚገኝባት አነስተኛዋ የባቫሪያ ከተማ ሄርዝገን አውራክ በየዓመቱ የዓለም ፈጣን እግሮች የሚሰባሰቡባት የምድራችን የሩጫ ማዕከል ሆናለች። ይህ አዲ0 ሮድ ቱ ሪከርድስ የተሰኘውና በ2021 የተጀመረው ታላቅ የጎዳና ላይ ውድድር የማይታመኑ ፈጣን ሰዓቶች የሚመዘገቡበት መድረክ በመሆን ስሙ ናኝቷል። በዚህ መድረክ ሰንበሬ ተፈሪ በ5 ኪሎ ሜትር 14:29 እንዲሁም አግነስ ቲሮፕ በ10 ኪሎ ሜትር 30:01 የዓለም ክብረ ወሰኖችን የሰበሩበት መድረክ ነበረ። የቅርብ ጊዜው ውድድር ደግሞ በዚህ ታሪክ ላይ ሌላ አዲስ ድንቅ ምዕራፍ ጨምሯል። እንደተለመደው ደግሞ የዚህ ታሪክ እምብርትና ደማቅ ቀለም የነበሩት ኢትዮጵያውያን አትሌቶች ናቸው። በውድድሩ ላይ ከዓለም ዙሪያ የተውጣጡ ከ140 በላይ ኤሊት አትሌቶች በ5 ኪሎ ሜትር በ10 ኪሎ ሜትር እና በ1 ማይል ርቀቶች ተሳትፈዋል። ውድድሩ ሲጠናቀቅ ግን ኢትዮጵያ መሳተፏን ብቻ ሳይሆን መድረኩን ሙሉ በሙሉ በበላይነት መቆጣጠሯ አነጋጋሪ ሆኗል። የዕለቱ ትልቁ አድማቂ ውድድር የሴቶች 5 ኪሎ ሜትር መድረክ ነበረ። በዚህ ውድድር ላይ ኢትዮጵያውያን አትሌቶች አስደናቂ ያልሸነፍ ባይነት ትግልን አድርገዋል። ገላ ሀምቢሴ፣ መዲና፣ ኢሳ፣ ፎቴን ተስፋይ እስከ መጨረሻው ድረስ ከአንደኛ እስከ 3ኛ ያለውን ቦታ ይዞ ለማጠናቀቅ የተፋለሙ አትሌቶች ናቸው። እናም ተሳክቶላቸው ሙሉ የኢትዮጵያ ደረጃ እንዲመዘገብ አስችለዋል። በዓለም አቀፍ መድረክ ደረጃዋን በከፍተኛ ሁኔታ እያሻሻለች የመጣችው አትሌት ገላ ሀምቢሴ ደግሞ በማራቶን ውድድር ጭምር የዓለማችንን የምንጊዜም ሁለተኛውን ፈጣን ሰዓት ያስመዘገበችው ፎቴን ተስፋይና ወጣቷ መዲና ኢሳ ያደረጉት ትንቅንቅ እስከ መጨረሻው ድረስ ቁጭ ብድግ የሚያስብል ነበረ።
So I think it's going to be a good battle up front.
Under 20 world record holder for 5,000 meters.
Yes, she had a strange year last year. Fotyen Tesfay. There is Medina Eisa. She is the pre-race favourite. She's the defending champion, going for the hat-trick here. Tinabeb Dagnor is also out there, just a 19-year-old Ethiopian. There is so much young talent in Ethiopia. It's her first race this year at Dagnor. But Fotyen Tesfay, well, she won the Olympic trials for the Ethiopians in Nerja in Spain last summer in 29:47. That was her track PB, but then was 7th at the Olympic Games, so she will have been desperately disappointed with that time at the that performance at the Olympic Games. Away they go then. Always nice to see the women start rather than the starter reacting to firing the gun, but we eventually do get them underway. So, 2 athletes here I suspect will dominate. They are super fast. They're both very, very strong at 10K and half marathon. Who's your money on? Eisa or Tesfay?
Ooh, I don't know. I think I'm going to go with... See, this is the thing. I can't even hardly do it.
Putting you on the spot unfairly.
I'm going to say Fotyen.
Yeah, Fotyen Tesfay was very strong and consistent. She had a marvellous 2024. And who's going to take up the early tempo here? Well, this race has just started. We're expecting a winning time of around, I don't know, 14:20, something like that. So they're just settling down in these early stages. One and a half minutes on the clock then, and it is the early stages of this women's 5K. Just looking at these athletes. Lois Chepkwemoi of Uganda, just 18 years old, I think, making her debut on the on 5K over the roads. Janeth Chepngetich, 26-year-old Kenyan at the front at the moment, pushing it along. She too, I think, making a debut. Many of these athletes, the majority of this field, in fact, Carrie, have never run a 5K on the roads before.
Well, there's a number of them that are under 20 years old, so it's pretty amazing. And we see that a lot here at Road to Records, where we see some of the up-and-comers or the U20 champions come here and really get their fresh start of running as a pro or running in these professional races.
Well, they are heading towards the 1 kilometer point here. We're expecting to run just under 3 minutes per kilometer. This pack of, what, about 8 athletes in the early stages. Doesn't look like anybody's doing an Agnes Nigetic here and kicking on really hard in the early stages. There you can see Janeth Chepngetich to the right of picture. Lois Chepkwemoi as well up at the front end. And Medina is there as well. Medina Eisa left of the group there. Second place now, Medina. Looks lovely and relaxed. Nice looking athlete, actually moves really well, doesn't she? You know, there's just a lovely sort of fluidity to the way she covers the ground.
Well, and she has such experience here by winning the last 2. She's going for that 3-peat today, and you know, I think that's really a big thing. She was 7th also at the Olympics, but in the 5K this last summer, also 6th at the World Championships in 2023, so she's very good at championship-style racing. Today isn't so much about championship-style racing. They want to run and chase that clock. But when they're in a big pack like this, that's where they really get into it. And it's kind of nice to see that there's a number of athletes taking them out hard.
Well, they've just come past us here with 3 laps to go. We're right beside the finish line. It was about 3:25 on the clock as it went through. That first kilometer, 3:04. That is on the slow side. It's much slower than we expected. Maybe they're going to warm to the task here. 3:04 obviously means they're only on 15:20 tempo, and last year Medina Eisa won in 14:38. Wow. So unlike the last 2 races, they've set off here in very, very conservative fashion.
Yeah, I mean, almost a minute slower than last year, and it is beautiful weather out there. A little bit cooler, but I think nice for a 5K.
Well, it is nice weather for a 5K. I don't think the wind's picked up or anything. I'm not quite sure why they've been so tentative in the early running here. Nobody really seemed keen to commit. And Janeth Chepngetich, who leads at the moment, is a 26-year-old, plenty of experience, but I was really expecting Medina Eisa to go out harder than this. She was 4th in the World Championships over 5K in Riga back in October 23, the inaugural World Championships. And as mentioning that, so only yesterday, World Athletics announced that there will be no Road Running Championships this year. It was expected to be in San Diego, but a few weeks ago, unfortunately, San Diego had to pull out. The World Athletics confirmed there will be no Road Running Championships, World Road Running Championships this year. You could almost call today, therefore, the unofficial World Road Running Championships.
Yeah, but looking, you know, at Medina Eisa, you were saying that she ran that 29:25 Road 5K in February. She split faster than what she's running right here, right now.
Much faster. Don't know if she's had any problems or what. She is very young and inexperienced and maybe lacking confidence. But going for a hat trick here, she won in 14:46 2 years ago. And she too is one of those young athletes that's great on all surfaces. She was silver medalist in the World Junior Cross Country in Bathurst, Australia, a couple of years back. She can do it on the track, she can do it on the roads, and she can do it on the country. But single file now, beginning to develop at the front end, Carrie, and that suggests maybe the pace has picked up a little bit through this second kilometre. We shall see, but that first kilometre, 3:04, really conservative. Yeah,
just kind of seeing where people are at, but now they're starting to attack. You can see that, as you said, as they string out just a little bit of an incline right here as they move around this corner. But really, a lot of people in this front pack that I think you and I both are a little bit interested and a little, you know, we're kind of surprised by.
Well, it's going to be one of those races that will produce negative splits, I'm sure. It'll get quicker and quicker as it goes on. The last kilometre at 2:54, that's more like it. Yep. 14:56, they're beginning to warm to the task.
Und erneut heißen wir Sie ganz herzlich willkommen.
Janet Chepngetich, then the 26-year-old, continues to lead. All Africa Games champion over 10,000 last year. And Chepngetich, well, she is a great track racer. 8:23 for 3,000 in Lausanne last summer, 14:45 for 5,000, and is fifth in the Prefontaine 10,000, 30:04. So she has all the qualities carried as a great track racer from 3,000 up to 10,000. She might spring a surprise here, Janet Chepngetich.
Well, we've seen it here before where some of these athletes are new to the roads and they really use that track pedigree that they have. But as they just came through, the crowds are going crazy and you can see the athletes' energy almost get a little bit more up on their toes. They really are starting to run now.
They are moving this third kilometre, I'm sure will be quicker still. 3:04 and then 2:54. That's a significant 10-second increase in tempo for the kilometre split as they are in single file. Medina Eisa in second place there. 14:23, her best in Barcelona. Back in December, she's the fourth fastest in history at 5K on the road. The world record is an almost science-fictional 13:54 by Beatrice Chebet. That was in Barcelona just last December. With the shoe technology moving on and advancements in training, knowledge and practices, records are being broken all the time and new barriers being punched through. And we've already had a world record here this morning from Agnes Nigetic in that 10K, if you joined us in the last few minutes. A women-only world record of 29:27. So Medina Eisa, the pre-race favourite, going for a hat-trick of wins here at Road to Records over 5K. In third, in second place, Janet Chepngetich is in the lead. And Gela Hambese, the 22-year-old, back in fourth at the moment. Just trying to see who's in third there. It's hard to see.
Is it Fotyen?
It is Fotyen, yes. Fotyen Tesfay, who was third here last year. She too in fabulous form. She was second in the Valencia half marathon last October in 63:21. She can show that half marathon strength. And I would expect her actually to push pretty hard soon. That third kilometre, 2:58, so 14:54. Wasn't as quick as I expected, that third kilometre, 2:58. 14:54.
So watch that woman in third here, Fotyen, as you've been talking about, third here last year, but she ran that half marathon just a few weeks ago in Berlin in a 63:35, crazy fast. But she also had a really nice 10K in Valencia in January, 29:42. So her credentials are very similar to Medina, and she and Medina right there in second and third.
Well, do you know what? Janet Chepngetich, she was almost acting like a pacemaker. She's running with real aggression at the front. She has got the credentials to take this race, but it's almost like as a preordained agreement. And I can't see why she would do that when the two favourites are Ethiopians. Medina Eisa, the defending champion, Fotyen Tesfay in fabulous form, who is the most experienced of them at 27, Fotyen Tesfay. And third last year, she knows most of this circuit. She looks very relaxed in second place there.
She looks really good, almost biding her time just to wait to touch the front. And Janet is not giving it up. She really has pressure on to lead this race, not even waving or signaling to have someone help her.
So they come through now with 1 lap to run. It's winding up wonderfully. Janet Chepngetich has led every step of the way so far. Are things going to change here? Medina Eisa, nearest the camera there, the defending champion, looks ever so relaxed, doesn't she? With that little headband, that light headband in her hair. Looks so relaxed. They come past us.
Gela in fourth looks very smooth as well. She isn't so much up on the shoulder, but she's just been relaxed, waiting to see what happens in front of her.
Well, they have run a cautious race. I mean, there's no world records going to happen this morning. That's quite clear. Not many personal bests either, I suspect, in the way these last 3.5 kilometres have unfolded. So they enter the final lap now. They've got about 4 minutes of hard running to come. So 12 minutes on the clock then in this women's 5K. We're on the final circuit of almost 4 laps here in Herzegovina. Janice Chepngetich continues to lead the 26-year-old Kenyan. She's had 3 colleagues in close attendance throughout, and now maybe that attendance gets closer than ever. Checking a watch there is the defending champion, Medina Eisa, to the right of picture there. To the left of picture, Fotyen Tesfay, the left of this quartet towards the back there. She could be a real danger after 3rd last year and 3rd in the Valencia 10K back in January in 29:42. We know she's in fabulous form after 3 weeks ago, running 63.5 minutes to win the Berlin Half Marathon by 3.5 minutes. I thought she might take this on, Fotyen, and run aggressively and use her strength. But each of these athletes, you have to say, Carrie, in this sort of situation, they must be confident of their kicks.
They must be confident of their kicks, but they have to use this course to their advantage. There's lots of turns here coming up, so they have to be ready to be able to navigate through this pack if they're sitting and kicking like Fotyen is right now.
Well, the last couple of turns here on this newly created circuit, which are gentle turns, but Janice Chepngetich still leads. Medina Eisa, right to picture, the defending champion, looking for a hat-trick here after winning last year in 14:38. Today has been considerably slower. They went through 4K in 11:57. That 4th kilometre, a 3:01. So they've run a very, very cagey, cautious, tactical race here. The kilometre split is 3:04, 2:54, 2:58, and then 3:01. There's been no winding up here. This final circuit is what it's all about.
This is what I'm getting nervous. Fotyen is on the inside. She's trying to make some moves here, Tim, but Janet is playing it smart, not letting her get out. But right now, Medina moves to the lead. This might be what Fotyen needs to get up to the front.
This is where your leg speed gets tested to the max. It's more like a track race, this one. They've run it very conservatively, and it makes it a bit of a lottery. Medina Eisa, the defending champion, hits the front for the first time with about 300 to go. She gestures there to the athlete behind her, to Fotyen Tesfay. I'm not sure what that was all about. But Medina Eisa leads. Is she going to get the hat-trick here? There's nothing in it. There were 4, there were 3, now we're down to 2. Medina Eisa and Fotyen Tesfay right behind her. Who's got the speed? This comes down to raw leg speed over the last 180. And Medina Eisa has proven in the last 2 years she has the speed to get the victory. Here she looks like she's going to get the victory again. It is going to be a 3-peat for Medina Eisa. The 20-year-old takes the win once again.
የዩቲዩብ ተከታታዮች ሰብስክራይብ በማድረግ ቤተሰብ መሆን እንዳትዘነጉ። ላይክ እና ሼር በማድረግ ለሌሎች እንዲዳረስም አድርጉ።
Gambled, but Medina Eisa was a gambler too, and she was the most successful gambler of the quartet. 3 in a row for Medina Eisa. That last kilometre will undoubtedly have been the fastest of the race. The winning time, 14:48. Well, it's not super fast by global standards, but it was wonderfully intense racing there in the latter stages. And still, there's only a handful of women globally who've ever run faster than that, 14:40. Anything under 15 minutes for women's 5K is super quick on the track and on the roads. And 14:48 there for Medina Eisa makes it win number 3 for the Ethiopian. Well, confirmation of that win in
ዮሚፍ ቀጀልቻ የተካፈለበት የወንዶች የ5 ኪሎ ሜትር ፍልሚያ የዓለም ክብረ ወሰንን ይዞ ለማጠናቀቅ የተደረገ ያንገት ላንገት ትንቅንቅ ነበረ። ዮሚፍ ቀጀልቻ ከኪፕቱና ከስፔኑ ቲየሪ ጋር ያደረገው ያልሸነፍ ባይነት ትግል እጅግ አስደናቂ ነበረ።
And in 2024 he ran 12:49 for the 5,000 meters. He did it during the Diamond League in Oslo.
Michel Boateng, well-known athletics agent, and himself a sometime commentator, introducing the crowd. Yehun, World Junior 5,000 champion, is there. There he is. Very small character, 5'5", 1'66". But 12:49 he's run for 5,000. That was in Oslo last year.
Of 12 minutes and 45 seconds. From Kenya,
Jacob Krop, he's only 23. World Championship silver medalist a couple of years ago, former winner here. He was 8th in 2022, but won here 4 years ago in 13:06.
He is around since 2013, but still young and strong. From Ethiopia and chasing the world record, Yomif.
Yomif Kejelcha there, delightful fella, speaks very good English. Had a long chat with him last year. Fabulously consistent too, but no big gold medal yet. Lots of near misses in major championships. And Björn Gulden, the CEO of Adidas Global, gets things underway. So the fellas on the line then in this fairly big field. Let's hope the pacemakers can help out for the first lap or two.
We should do this every day.
Away they go then. Now, the pacemakers in black. Are they going to be able to push this along for more than a couple of minutes? Because that's what happened in the women's 10K. They were of very, very little help to Agnes Nigetic. Didn't stop her getting a world record. And how the organisers would love another world record here this morning. The meeting record 12:53 back in April 2022. And of course, that is the target for these fellas. They look to be moving well, and nice to see shadows from the sun that has broken out this last half hour or so. But it's so important that the early tempo hits and marks that they need. That wasn't the case in the women's 5K, and they were playing catch-up for most of the race because the first kilometre was so slow. I just get the feeling that these pacemakers are taking it out a little bit quicker. We need to see splits around 2:35 per kilometre if they get down below 13 minutes here today. Kejelcha there to the left of picture in the red, tall, lean figure. World indoor champion at 3,000 metres in 2016 and 2018, Kejelcha. And don't forget, you can join the virtual Road to Records race if you go to adidas.com and be part of today, in effect. And it doesn't have to be today. Just enter the 5K and do it in your own time. Well, the pacemakers include Jonah Hoey there to the right of picture. And we do need to see them get to 1K in 2:35. It's critical that they hit these splits right here today.
Sie laufen das erste Mal auf die Zielgerade zu.
Tough though, 2:35 is really shifting under any circumstances. Fastest time in the world this year is 12:57 by Jimmy Gressier of France. That was in Lille back on the 16th of March. So anything under 13 minutes would be great. A world best would be great. And of course, well, a world record 12:49 as they come through the finish line with 3 laps to go. They've completed about a 3/4 lap to kick off this men's 5K. And that's a big pack, about 15 athletes go through, and they are traveling. 2:36, brilliant, nice and fast, sets it up wonderfully for that first kilometre in this men's 5K. 2:36, pretty much spot on, 13-minute tempo. The world record by Berehu Aregawi was in Barcelona back in December 21. That would be very tough to beat. The event record and the best ever run here, 12:53 by Kejelcha when he won here in 2022. That's the second fastest time in history. And already that pace is beginning to take its toll, because that pack is stretching out and 1 or 2 are peeling off the back. Adisu Yehun there hits the front. The pacemaker struggling to go with this any further. And Yehun has taken on the role of front runner. He was 4th in Lille on the 16th of March, so only some 5 weeks ago when he ran 13:04, his personal best. He's on schedule for something quicker than that already. He's a tiny figure, 1.66 m, 5'5", but he's a fabulously quick road racer. And he's not scared to lead either, is he? And neither is Kejelcha. And maybe between them, these two can work together and produce something special here this morning. Kejelcha checking his watch. I'm not quite sure why. 4.5 minutes on the clock. Maybe they've just gone through the... what would that have been? The first K was 2:36. 1,500 metre point. I'm not even sure if it's marked on the road. Well, we're 4.5 minutes in, and it's building nicely in this men's 5K.
We're going again to the world record, to Kenya.
Second kilometre was at 2:33. That second kilometre at 2:33 after an opener of 2:36. So they have accelerated well, and Yehoon is the man responsible for that. They got to 2K in 5:09. It is super fast. It's just what the doctor ordered. And they come through now with Kejelcha now. Has got the bit between his teeth, and he loves to front run. He's aggressive, and he's fast, and he's strong. And they pass in front of us now with 2 laps to run, and these 4 are away. And they are absolutely flying. Some people in England use the expression, they are caning it. Andrew Kiptu, Alamisi is up there as well. Cornelius Kemboi is up there as well, the 25-year-old, a best of 13:13. He's going a lot quicker than that at the moment. He was only 11th here last year. 11th in the 10K in 2022. 27:40, has got good strength. He's never broken 13 minutes. But Andrew Kiptu, the 17-year-old, trying to live with Kejelcha here. That might be ambitious, because Kejelcha is super strong. We know that. He set a national record for the Ethiopians over 10K on the 16th of February. What, some 8 weeks or so ago. And now Cornelius Kemboi in second place. They're in single file. They're having to ease back, because Kejelcha is in full flow here. And this is Kejelcha having unleashed full power. He sat in there for the first 4 or 5 minutes. Now he's beginning to wind it up. And when he gets going, rocks from side to side in that lovely rhythmic fashion of his, with that long stride from those long legs. He covers the ground quicker than almost anybody. Last year, he had a fabulous season of racing, but then only 6th in the Olympic 10,000 in Paris in 26:44. It was a quick time, but only 6th. And he hasn't yet, outdoors, nailed that massive gold medal, global gold that he is so capable of. 2:34 for that third kilometre. 12:52, the predicted winning time. That would be meeting record. It's 12:53 from his win 3 years ago. Kejelcha holds the meeting record, so to speak, for this festival road running. So that 2:34 after 2:33 is brilliant. They've run the last 2K in 5:07. And Kejelcha trying to forge a gap here over the men behind him. Adisu Yehoon, the youngster, 22 years old, in second place. Only about 15 meters down. But Kejelcha is like a heavyweight boxer. He keeps pummeling away. He will keep punching you in the face and getting you to submit. And there's nothing you can do about it. When somebody's an aggressive front runner, it's a tactic there is no answer to. How do you respond to this? You hang on to their coattails, but you can't do anything about it. It's not like a slow, tactical track race with lots of shifting around. There is nothing you can do. 9 minutes 15 on the clock, and Kejelcha comes through for the final time. 1 lap to run, and he has the speed and the power and the mental strength to churn out a super quick final lap here. As Kejelcha goes through the line right in front of us. Now, 9:35 on the clock. What's he going to cover this last circuit in? Like I said, the fastest time in the world this year by Jimmy Gressier of France. That was a month or so ago in Lille. Fastest time in the world last year was only 12:58 by Hagos Gebrewet. That was in Al-Khobar in December. But heading out on the final circuit now, Kejelcha chasing history, chasing records. Kejelcha then, within 2 or 3 seconds of the course record here. He needs to really dig deep here. 2:36, that 4th kilometre. And the projected time, 4:55. He's chasing, remember, the projected time, 12:55. Remember, the course record as is 12:53. The world record, 12:49. It's still possible, but he has got to fly, this man. He has got the speed endurance, we know that. He's a former world record holder for the mile indoors. 3:47 he ran in Boston 6 years ago. He's the 7th fastest man in history over the road 10K. He's got everything, all the armory that's needed to break the world record. But he has got to really push on hard here, push through pain barriers, red line it more than he wants to. And that's the thing, your body and your legs are saying, your mind is saying, ease back, don't push so hard. But you've got to punch through that. You've got to be the winner against your will, so to speak, and produce the hard running. And he's got, what, about a minute, just over a minute of hard running has come at Yomif Kejelcha. That rocking from side to side, that head bobbing, takes that penultimate right-hand turn well. And I tell you what, the gap behind him has grown. And I think Kejelcha here is winding it up really impressively. That long stride, goodness me, that raking stride, eating up the ground now. Is this man running himself towards history? His best time ever in Herzogenaurach, 12:53. That was 3 years to go. Here he comes now, towards the finish line. He's into the finishing straight now. It's 150 meters long. Yomif Kejelcha driving for the line. The world record is 12:49. That might be out of reach, but can he set a new record here for Herzogenaurach? 12:53 is the target. It's going to be mighty close as he comes towards the line. 47, 48, 49. 50, look at the clock above the line. Kejelcha may have matched there his own record from 2022. It is super quick by Yomif Kejelcha yet again.
የዩቲዩብ ተከታታዮች ሰብስክራይብ በማድረግ ቤተሰብ መሆን እንዳትዘነጉ። ላይክ እና ሼር በማድረግ ለሌሎች እንዲዳረስም አድርጉ።
Joshua Tepchka has run 12:51 and Kejelcha sits between them in the all-time rankings. He's just run quicker than everybody in history but 2 other men. And he's won. And he's got to be happy with that, but I wonder if there's just a tinge of disappointment for this man who so desperately wants to be on top of the record books, on top of the rankings. 12:54, he misses it by 1 second, Kejelcha. Oh, so near, but so far. Goodness me, what a fabulous run from Yomif Kejelcha. He wins comfortably, misses his own course record by 1 second. Confirmation of that win for Yomif Kejelcha here this morning in Herzogenaurach. 12:54 at this 5th edition of the Adizero Road to Records. Winning comfortably there, 9 seconds the gap back to Andrew Alamisi, who came through later to take 2nd place, 13:03. Thierry Ndikumwenayo of Spain, the best of the Europeans yet today, 13:08 in 3rd place there. And then Cornelius Kemboy, 13:11 in 4th. And Jacob Kropp, 13:22, still really solid running for 5K on the road, but 28 seconds down on Kejelcha's 12:54. So near, yet so far for Kejelcha here this morning. Frustrating for him. And I know he judges himself by the very highest standards, and he will have wanted more. He'll be looking at that race and trying to figure out where he could have gone better. Well, they sets off here. This men's 5K at 11:20, the fourth race of 6 in Herzegovina. With Yomif, Kejelcha, Adisu Yehun, the early leaders. Kejelcha, though, taking the lead after less than one full lap. And they're gradually building that lead and surging over the final circuit to come so close to his own meeting record of 12:53 from 3 years ago when he won here in Herzegovina. 12:54 his winning time this morning. So near yet so far, but it's still a time that only 2 men in history have ever matched. They are Berehu Adagawi, the world record holder on the roads, and Joshua Cheptegei, the world record holder for 5,000 on the track. And Kari Tollefson is with the winner.
All right, I'm down here with Yomif. Yomif, an awesome race, one of the fastest we've ever seen in the world, but not quite a world record today. Talk us through your race.
This race is very good. So it's court also, it's very nice. I like it. Just I try to beat world record, but I don't beat world record, but I run fast time. Just my second time in the road. I'm happy.
So the race went a little bit slower. Where do you think you could have squeezed out a couple more seconds?
Just one part is very wind, so every coming I get the wind, so I come a little bit, roll down. So I maybe my time is also come a little bit 2 kilometers down very low, so I lose world records. Just I don't give up. I try again.
You really do not give up, but everybody here was yelling so loud for you. Did you have fun today?
Really, yeah, I'm happy. All around, people give me moral. So I really am happy. Thank you for everyone.
Well, thank you. This is our men's 5K champion, Yomif. Awesome job.